and Ms. Shirakawa. Welcome to our show.
Hello.
So first of all, please tell us what it's like in Southern Africa right now.
Well, to tell you the truth, when I went there, I found that the blue skies and the people were so nice to us, and it was a very pleasant time that I spent. But in another way, people are very suffering from the shortage of the food, and also they had a big disease, the cow disease, that the cows died, and that is making things very difficult too.
So you went to Zambia?
Yes.
And you stayed there for how long?
Whole trip was about 2 weeks, but about 10 days in the field.
And you said it was beautiful in Zambia during your stay, but it was supposed to be a rainy season, wasn't it?
Yes, it should be, but unfortunately for them, there was no rain.
Now, given those circumstances, how would you describe the lifestyles of the local people?
Well, I will say it's very different from Japan, of course, but they're living with their family, and the families are very connected to each other. So they're helping each other, and if one of the family is suffering with something, I won't say rich, but who have other powers, they will try to help them. So, well, it's something like that. I'm sorry. And I think, well, the children who are the weak ones seems not to be very healthy from our eyes, but if you look very close, I don't think, they have a problem with the food. They're not eating the proper food, so I think something is coming up.
So what is most needed in the region right now, and what sort of assistance should be made urgently?
Well, one thing that I think that's why the WFP is doing is giving out the food, and that is helping them very much right now. But there's another problem that they have is they have ate all the seeds that should be planted in this season. So what we are trying to do is giving out the seeds instead of the food, so they might have something next year, and they can live in their own feet.
And well, you mentioned about the concern about children and about the malnutrition, but are there enough doctors in the hospital?
I'll say no. There's a lot of witch doctors. I heard about that, but the doctors live in the city sides, but most of the people live in the rural areas. So those people have very hard to contact those doctors. So I don't think most of the people have some kind of help from the doctors.
Now, based on your survey results, Ms. Shirakawa, I hear that you started some aid programs. Could you tell us specifically about these programs?
Yes. First thing I just told you a little short thing, but we have these information from the WFP, and there's 2 organizations which is our members. They have urged us that there's something going on in Zambia, in South Africa, and we had a short survey for that, and so we have decided to come out to do something, and we found out the WFP is doing the food. So we said, well, if they're taking care of the food, maybe we can do something for the next year. To see what can they live on. So we have decided to give out the seeds for the maize and soybeans and kind of things, and also some education that the farmers can relate on. Yes, that's kind of the aid we're doing right now.
And I believe there are other NGOs working or actively in Zambia right now.
Yes, there's a lot of, I won't say a lot as other countries, but there is international NGOs, of course, and also UN rated organizations, and also 4 Japanese NGOs, which is working very hard in Zambia.
Now, do all the organizations work together and try to coordinate things to try to improve efficiency
for
the people?
Yes, I would say all the organizations have their own way of to helping out people. So I would say they don't work together, but they do share their knowledge, so they can cover each other especially for the securities. And also, they don't want to do the same thing in the same places, so they do have kind of connections with each other.
Are there different activities going on right now in different regions?
Yes. Well, the mainly this, especially for this desert star, the southern part is really affected. So most of the NGO are working in the south part right now, but they're also working in other places, which is like since for 10 or 20 years they're doing something there. So it's all over Zambia, I think.
Mm-hmm. And so you are one of Japanese people who actually went to Zambia and did some work there. But what can Japan do to help the people, and what is expected from Japan in helping these people who are suffering in Africa right now?
Well, one thing is I want the Japanese people to know about Africa. It is very far away. I know. I have experienced how far it is. And so I want people to know about Africa, to think about Africa. So it is a very short time. It is very good things to do for me. And also, I do want people to think what they can do themselves. People have their own way to help people. So if they can think about Africa, they might come up with something that they can do for them.
And is Japan Platform doing anything to let Japanese people know more about Africa?
Well, that's one thing we're trying to do right now.
Now, tell us more about Japan Platform, your NGO. Does it specifically concentrate on Africa, or do you look at other areas of the world in need as well?
Yes, well, especially what our Japan Platform is looking all over the world, and we're specified in the emergency field. So we go out not only for the disasters, but we also go out if we see some refugees problems and things. But we have to have our member NGO to come up with that problem. So first, our member NGO will say there's something going on in this place, and we should do something. The Japanese NGO have to go and do something. Then our council member will think about that and say go or not, decide what to do about that.
So Japan Platform kind of oversees a whole set of other NGOs.
Mm-hmm.
I see.
Yeah.
And do you have any plans to go some other countries in the near future?
Well, right now, we're doing the watching. I won't say I'll go for this or that. We haven't come up to this decision yet. But we are, through of course with ourselves, but through our NGO members, we are watching the world.
Mm-hmm. And from your experience in Zambia, what would you like to say to Japanese people?
Oh, about Zambia, you mean? Mm-hmm. Yes. Well, come and visit. Go and visit.
Firstly, Ms. Shirakabe, have you set any short-term or maybe long-term goals from this point on as far as what you want to accomplish in the future?
About Zambia, right? I think, what I heard is there's still no rain. It is 2 weeks since I have been back from Zambia. I don't hear a rain. So I think this thing will go on next year, and that will make things serious. And we should keep in touch with them, I think.
Well, thank you for joining us in the studio today.
Yes, it was nice to be here.
Our guest today was Ms. Haruko Shirakabe from the NGO Japan